Is it fine? I'm sorry. Yeah. No. ಇದು ಆದಾಗ ಹಿಂಗೆ ಇಟ್ಕೊಂತೀನಿ. ಹಾಂ, ಕನೆಕ್ಟ್ ಆಗಿದೆ. I am reclaiming the host. That's okay, no? ಅಡ್ಮಿಟ್ ಆಲ್ ಮಾಡಿಬಿಡ್ತೀನಿ ಇವಾಗ. 7:46 ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆ. ಇದು ಶೇರ್ ಮಾಡಿಬಿಟ್ಟು ಬಿಟ್ಬಿಡ್ಲಾ? 4 ಜನ ಬಂದಿದ್ದಾರೆ. Hi, everybody. Good evening.
Good evening. Good evening.
Hello. Welcome to our World Storytelling Day celebrations. Thank you so much for joining. We're waiting for a few more people to join, and we're just waiting for all of them to come in. We're going to start off in about exactly 5 minutes. And until then, I would show you what all we do at Moxie and Hopper, just a mild visual for all of you. So we hope you enjoy this particular show today, and we'll begin sharp at 8:03, 5 minutes from now.
Ma'am, I can't hear you.
It's not audible.
वेट करो अभी वहाँ
Hi, can you hear me now? I know you couldn't hear me then. Okay, I see all of you joining in. I'm super happy and super psyched to actually have and celebrate this World Storytelling Day with all of you. Thank you so much for joining. And we have 45 seconds more, and we'll get started with a wonderful and happy session of storytelling. Just a quick ask, those who have joined in just now, can you guys please drop me a personal message if you want to do a storytelling in today's session? If you want to tell a story, the rules are have already been told during the promotion of the event, that you have 3 to 5 minutes to tell the story. We'll be putting out the timer just like what you see on the right hand top corner for your story to start and finish. This way everybody gets a chance to tell a story. Nobody's telling, I have a Pandora's box of stories, so I would like to share all of them with you. We also have a small performance prepared for all of you to talk about the entire history of storytelling. So wait and watch for that. Thank you so much for joining. Thanks, everybody. All right. Great. So we're going to start the storytelling session with the participants shortly. So you have time until 8:15 to let me know if you would like to do a storytelling of 3 to 5 minutes so that everybody can hear. And before that, I would just tell you something about this World Storytelling Day. What is this day? Why do we celebrate it? And how does it get celebrated across the world? Is something you should all understand and know. So, if you actually look at the history of storytelling, storytelling goes way back, right? It goes back to our grannies and then great grannies, like an era which was very, very long back. So, this storytelling day started about 15 years ago, and somebody decided that stories needed to be celebrated because we learn from it, we enjoy these stories so much. Our childhood, our adulthood, everything is filled with stories. So they started International Storytelling Day in Scotland and Sweden, and slowly the fever of storytelling day caught up to the entire world. And on March 20th, the whole world celebrates this world, or sometimes they call it International Storytelling Day. And the beauty of this all is, every single time that this storytelling day is celebrated, there is a universal and a like a theme which is decided by everybody across the world. There's a committee which sits and decide what is the this year's storytelling theme. And if you actually notice, there are wonderful stories. There was a story theme for 2020 was the power of women. The storytelling theme for 2022 was growth and happiness. And this year's storytelling theme has been decided to be building bridges. Now, building bridges is a very wonderful, with this current day and age and the internet era we stay in. We know that bridges are really, really easy to break and very easy to form. But what are those stories that actually make your heart sing and make you feel like the bridges, that the bridges are breaking down, or you're all coming together? Those are the stories that we are here to listen to today. Are you guys ready to listen to your first story? Okay, you guys have got to give me a reaction. A thumbs up, a clap, a raise hand would actually give me a lot of encouragement to start my first news story. Okay. All right. I am going to start the story with a performance for all of you. I want to tell a story about a very sweet child and their grandmother. And this story begins something like this. When I was just a little girl, I asked my mother, what will I be? Will I be pretty? Will I be rich? Here's what she said to me. Que sera, sera. Whatever will be, will be. The future's not ours to see. Que sera, sera. What will be, will be. Sang the grandmother as she busily tidied up after the entire day's work. She had just finished her dinner, she was packing up all things and she was putting it inside. Just then, her grandson came running and said, Dadi, Dadi, look what time it is. When she looked at the watch, she realized, hey, it is about the time that we sit and listen to stories. So, why don't you get into your bed and why don't I start telling you some really nice stories? So, they both go get into the bed and they start thinking. So the grandmother asked the grandson, so yesterday you heard a story about a tiger, the day before you heard a story about a mouse, the day before you heard a story about Bheem. What do you want to listen to today? And that's when the son says, Granny, I want to listen to the stories of how a story began. And then Granny started laughing. Do you want to know how it all started? She thought. And that is when she started telling her the story, her grandson the story of how it all began. It all began at the time of the big bad world had just begun. And there were these cavemen, and they had a lot of expectation. They had a lot of things to explore. They wanted to see the world. There were jungles, there were animals, and wherever they would go, there would be danger lurking around. And as they decided, one day they were all looking around, they realized something strange happening to their community. See, this was a bunch of cavemen, okay? There were some 50 cavemen living together. And they realized that there was one place. Every single time a caveman would go there, they would get really scared and they would come running back. And they were never able to understand or explain what did they see. They were so scared and they never dared to go to that cave. And every single time they realized that that is the cave after which all these really good green fields are there, where yummy food will be there. But none of them were able to go to that cave because they were really scared. One day, one caveman decided that, hey, I am really, really brave. I will go see what happened in the cave. And then when he went inside, he decided to see and show what he saw. He went into the cave. First, he was really scared. And then he saw it. And what did he see, you ask? Just one second. We are arranging for the performance for you. And just like that, every single caveman went into this particular cave. And every time they entered the cave, they saw these drawings on the cave. They realized that there was something to be feared here. So whenever they would go to that cave, they would go with some kind of a like an arrow or something to keep themselves safe. After a few days, people started realizing that the cave can be visited after dark. So they started going there, and thanks to this caveman who decided to tell them the story of how a scary lion and a tiger stayed there, and that helped them find their food and move on and live there happily ever after. As Granny told this story, the grandson's eyes grew wide and he was like, "Oh, Granny, you're really serious? They did not know how to talk, but they still drew and told stories." Granny smiled. She said, "Yeah, that's exactly how they told stories." Then he started thinking and he said, "Hey, but after some days they learned how to talk, right? How did they start telling stories when they learned to speak?" And that is when Granny smiled and she said, "There was an era of happy singers. There were these god men who would go from one village to another and keep singing different songs. And they would actually kind of every single time listen to a story in one village, tell them the story, spread the story with their godly songs, and then move to another village and tell another story. And that is how we learned a lot of stories from all different eras. Excellent. And that is how each and every story continued. Slowly, everybody started hearing all the stories. And that is how stories spread. Now let's go to sleep. But the grandson was not done. He is like, "What are you saying? I understand that that these guys are telling stories while singing. But they stopped singing. But how did they continue telling the story? They would have forgotten the lyrics, no? If one person knew the song, how will the other person know the exact song? How will that story come to me?" That's when Granny smiled again and said, "The story era grew with books, and there were beautiful books written every single time. And every story that was written with famous authors like Ved Vyas, and every story which was written in that era was documented in
My
books. They
God.
started writing in the leaves, they started writing in books, and slowly, story books started getting written." And with this story, then they all wrote the books. Those are the books you read right now. Now let's go to sleep. I'm done telling stories. Now the grandson was a little groggy, but then suddenly he thought, "But Granny, I never read books. I only watch YouTube. How did that happen?" And that's when Granny told that the beautiful era of stories converted into a beautiful visualization when we discovered the magic of TV. Slowly, as the advent of technologies increased and as the entire world started becoming more and more advanced, we had broadcast networking everywhere. We had radio, we had TV, and we had beautiful movies which were started to get shoot. And as they shot all these movies, we realized that the stories don't just need to be heard, don't just need to be told, but they can also be seen in the most beautiful manner. And as Granny said this, the grandson looked at Granny and asked, Granny, so many stories, so many ways of stories. All the stories have been building bridges between so much of content all over the world. Can you tell me what is it that you absolutely love about stories? And that's when Granny smiled. She looked out the window at the moon and she said that the beauty of the stories is the fact that it makes me believe, it makes me imagine, it makes me think, and it makes me wonder how beautiful the world is. And this is why I absolutely love stories. And as Granny looked out the window and said, You know, grandson, there is so many things about stories that I. And she realized that by the time Granny had imagined, the grandson was fast asleep. Stories do that to you, don't they? They make you feel so calm and so much in this. They just transport you into a beautiful wonderland that you don't need anything else anymore. Just a story is enough to send you into the beautiful land of sleep. That brings an end to the performance by Moxie and Hopper. Thank you so much. I hope you guys all enjoyed that show.
It was amazing.
Thank you so much, Annie.
Yes,
I
I
started
loved
late,
it.
but it was really very nice.
Thank you so much. Thanks a lot,
I
Disha. Thanks,
loved
Yan.
it.
Looking forward for more events like these.
Mom, I loved it.
Thank you, darling. All right.
I
Thank
loved
you.
it a lot.
Samsung SM.
The actor was the best.
Yeah. I'm
I
sorry.
liked it
Somebody
a
was saying
lot.
something. Yeah, Jia, tell me.
I liked it a
You
lot.
liked it a lot. Thank you so much. I also love stories and I can't wait to hear more. While we have so many stories, we did have few people really eager to start telling stories to us. So I have the lineup ready with me. Is Ridwin here, please? Is Ridwin here? Just checking if Ridwin is here. All right. What about Garima? Okay.
Hello.
Hey, Garima, is it you?
Yes.
Wonderful. Everybody, I would like you to put a big round of applause for Garima, who has come today to share a story with us. And this story is going to be anything under the sun. So open your ears wide and pay full attention while we listen to Garima's story. Garima, are you ready?
Yes, I just want to know horror story or any story or in which language I
Anything
can.
that makes you happy.
Okay.
Yes. Would you like to come on video?
Uh, Only audio if
It's fine, it's fine. Yeah. That's cool. No worries.
hi everyone. Echo हो रहा है. There is no.
Garima, I'm not able to hear you clearly. Could you just say that again?
मैम एको की प्रॉब्लम हो रही है, आई डोंट नो क्यों हो रही है।
आप ईयरफोन्स यूज़ कर रहे हो क्या?
नहीं, बिना ईयरफोन के।
ईयरफोन्स ट्राई करेंगे, उससे थोड़ा हेल्प हो जाता है.
वेट, मैं ईयरफोन्स ट्राई करती हूँ।
Okay. We'll give Garima a minute while she fixes the earphone. Garima, would you need a minute?
या
आप रेडी हो?
अभी ठीक है वॉइस मेरा?
हाँ हाँ, ये ठीक है, परफेक्ट है.
Still echo is there.
या मे बी किसी का माइक ऑन है शायद, कोई प्रॉब्लम है।
हाँ, माइक ऑन है किसी का।
Um, as I can see, it's only Garima's mic and my mic which is on. I'll unmute. I will mute my. Please go ahead.
ओके, थैंक यू। हेलो एवरीवन, माई सेल्फ गरिमा एंड मैं एक छोटा सा वॉइस आर्टिस्ट और स्टोरी टेलिंग टीचर हूँ। आई होप आपको मेरी छोटी सी कहानी पसंद आएगी। ये बात होगी कुछ 4-5 साल पुरानी, जब होता कुछ यूं है कि मेरा सबसे ना एक नाता सा टूट गया था। अब ना बात होती थी अपने दोस्तों से और ना ही कोई अपना सा लगता था। बस हर सपना अब छोटा सा दिखता था। अब बात थी कि मैं अपने 4 दीवारी वाले कमरे में कोने पे लगी बैठी रहती। दिन रात कैसे बीतते पता ही ना चलता। कभी कभार माँ पापा आके पूछ लेते, उनके आगे हंस के अपने आप को दिखा देती। लेकिन न जाने क्यों जिंदगी में ऐसे लगने लगा था कि जैसे कुछ चल ही नहीं रहा था। फिर अचानक से ना एक दिन बेल बजती, टिंग टोंग, और जैसे ही बेल बजी मैंने दरवाजा धीरे से खोला और वहां देखा एक छोटे से नन्हे नन्हे पाँव के साथ कोई था। वो और मेरी और अंदर आने लगा। मैंने उसे रोका, छी छी साइड हो जाओ, लेकिन वो रुका ही नहीं और वो आते हुए मेरे पैरों के पास चढ़ने लगा कि तभी मैंने उसे हाथों में उठा लिया। जैसे ही मैंने उसे हाथों में उठाया तो उसके नन्हे नन्हे पाँव बड़े प्यारे से थे, लेकिन मुझे ना ना जाने क्यों उसे पकड़ने का मन नहीं किया। और मैंने जैसे ही उसे नीचे रखने ही वाली थी कि माँ बोली, अरे अरे क्या कर रही हो बेटा, पता है ये पम्मी आंटी का पपी है, इसे ध्यान से रखो। क्या? पम्मी आंटी का पपी यहाँ क्या कर रहा है? अरे वो थोड़े दिनों के लिए बाहर जा रही है, तो बोल के गई है कि उसके पपी को संभाल लेना। जैसे ही माँ ने इतना कहा मैं समझ गई थी कि मुझ पर ही काम पड़ गया है। पम्मी आंटी गई हैं कुछ दिन के लिए बाहर और अब इस पपी को मुझे ही संभालना है। तो चलो ठीक है, जैसे तैसे मैंने इस पपी को संभालना शुरू कर दिया। लेकिन पता है, उसके वो नन्हे नन्हे कदम जैसे ही मेरी जिंदगी में आए ना, तो मेरी जिंदगी के मानो मायने ही बदल गए। 1 महीना उसके साथ कैसे बिताया पता ही नहीं चला। अब लगता था कि जो मुझे परेशानियां थी ना, वो सारी दूर हो गई थी। एक नन्हे से शख्स से आ जाने से मेरे चेहरे पर फिर से वो असली वाली खुशी दिखने लगी। माँ पापा भी मुझे देखकर खुश थे और अब मैं बाहर निकलकर सबसे मिलना चाहती थी, बातें करना चाहती थी, अपनी वो पुरानी बातों से बाहर आने लगी। कि तभी अचानक से मुझे पता चलता है कि पम्मी आंटी वापस इस पपी को लेकर जा रही हैं। वो चली गई, लेकिन मैं उस पपी को मिलने फिर भी जाती। कैसे वो नन्हा सा शख्स मेरी जिंदगी का हिस्सा बन गया, मुझे पता ही नहीं चला। कभी कभार ना हम लोगों को लगता है कि हमारी लाइफ यहाँ पर खत्म हो गई है, अब कोई नहीं है हमारे पास। और तब ना जब आप भगवान पे विश्वास रखते हो ना, तो वो आपके लिए कोई प्यारा सा शख्स भेज ही देता है। जैसे मेरे लिए ये पपी आया, शायद आपके लिए भी कोई ना कोई होगा। अगर है तो कमेंट बॉक्स में जरूर लिखना, कौन है ऐसा खास जो आपके चेहरे पर मिनटों में हंसी ले आता है और आपको जल्दी से खुश कर देता है। बताना जरूर, और कैसी लगी ये नन्हे से शख्स की मेरी जिंदगी में आई कहानी, ये भी बताना। शुक्रिया।
Wow, that was simply really, really, really amazing. Let's all give a big round of applause.
Amazing. Wow, wow.
Thank you.
Garima, you have such a nice voice and it was so animated. That was very well done. And we all know how much we love puppies, don't we?
Yeah. Puppies are cute.
Yes.
So I actually want to follow up with Garima's ask. Can everybody raise your hands and tell me who here loves puppies and animals and who can't wait to play with their streeties and their best friends at home? Let's see. Look at that. Vihan, Shlok, Ahana, Gyan, Adya, Abhay. Everybody loves animals. And we all know how amazing these animal stories also are. Just as simple as they are, their stories also warm your heart. So thank you so much, Garima, for such a lovely story. And as I see, all of us love animals, and we would love to hear some more stories just like this. So can we see who else is ready for this the next storytelling? So I just would like to call out Ridwin again. Is Ridwin here by any chance? If not, then I would like to call out Neha. Neha, are you here? Neha, are you here? All right. So now I would like to ask Tanya. Tanya, are you here? She had just logged in actually. I can't see her now. All right. So while we are talking about such a very nice, heartwarming, and extremely cute story about a puppy, I thought, why not we talk about an animal too? What say? Do you all want to listen to one story about an animal?
Yes.
Can I get a thumbs up and a hey yeah for that?
Yes.
Yay!
Yay.
Awesome. Thank you, Gyan. Thanks, Shani. All right. So, this story is actually one of my very old stories that I always tell it to the students in my class, the corporate sessions I take. Everybody actually really, really likes this story. So, just give me 1 minute before I start the story. Give me 1 second, please.
Ma'am, is this recording will be shared on the group?
We have not decided that yet, darling. I'll surely give you a heads up as soon as we figure that out, okay?
Ma'am?
All right. So, hi. Who's asking that? Can I hear? I mean,
Ma'am and Aya.
hi Naya. We are gonna share the. We may not be able to share the recording, but we are on YouTube. We are going live with this session, so you'll be able to see the YouTube. I'll share the YouTube link. Okay. Awesome. Now, I'll tell you a story about this one bird. This bird's name was Cuckoo. Cuckoo was a very happy bird and she loved to move around, she loved to fly around, and that's what she had done for the 1 week of her life. Because as soon as she started flying, there was a big bad guy. He came with a net, caught it, and put it in a cage. Cuckoo every single day was in that cage. Now, actually, this before this, just this when Cuckoo was just 1 week or 10 days old, she was singing this beautiful song, coo, coo, coo. And as she kept singing, this guy noticed this bird. She thought he's enjoying her song. So she started flying right next to the man and started singing again. She did not know that all human beings are not as nice and as loving towards animals as we are. What he did next was he caught her and he put her in a cage. And he gifted that cage to his niece. His niece was just about to turn 6 years old and she wanted a unique gift. Now, don't we all love birthday gifts? We do,
Yes.
right? If we get only one birthday gift, we are sad. We need at least 10, aren't we?
Yes.
Now, even she wanted something different. And she had been getting gifts for the last 5 years. This year she told her dad, Papa, I want something very unique. And then he got her the unique gift. Cuckoo, initially, when she was in that cage, screamed a lot. She wanted to tell them, Leave me alone, I want to fly near the tree. And she would start saying, Coo, 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 coo. And no matter how much she sang, the father and daughter thought she's singing out of happiness and to entertain them. And they would be very happy. Every time she would sing, they would throw a treat into her cage. And she would just be, Why are they feeding me? I just want my freedom. Slowly, slowly, Cuckoo started becoming very quiet. Every day, the daughter would come and she would knock on the cage and say, Bird, why don't you sing? And then the bird would just, Cuckoo would just look at the girl, turn her face, and sit sadly. She did not know, she did not think that she will ever become free. She didn't even know if there was ever possibility. That was when it was finally this girl's birthday. See, basically, her father had got her gift well in advance. Her birthday was a month later. So, for 1 month, Cuckoo was in the cage. But then this girl was getting very excited because it was time for her birthday party. She decided to show off her bird to everybody. And she thought, I'm going to put it in the center right next to the cake. Um, can you mute Naren's iPhone, please? Yeah. So now, as they actually started preparing for the party, Cuckoo started getting wondering, excited, like what's happening. She was like seeing all the streamers, there were balloons, and she started getting scared. See, till then she was quietly at a table. Now her cage was being moved from one place to another. Zzz, zzz. And how much she would get moved. She was not happy at all. So then she decided to start screaming again because she started seeing some 10-15 children enter the house. Everybody were like, ah, ah, and they came running into the house. And as they ran into the house, Cuckoo started worrying that something bad is going to happen to it. And she started screaming, Coo! 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 But everybody thought, oh my God, this girl has such a unique gift. She has a bird in a cage as her best friend. Now, while Cuckoo kept screaming to somebody to free her, everybody was busy with the cake and games, except one kid. This kid's name was Roy. Roy was looking at the bird from far. See, Roy was a quiet kid. He didn't have many friends. He was not even going to get invited into this birthday party. But his mom somehow asked the girl to invite him, and she got him invited. He was standing in a corner looking at everybody play, and then he was looking at the bird. The bird was moving in the cage from one place to another. She would beat her wings and she would be like, oh! And every time she would make a noise, all kids would get excited. That's when it struck to Roy. If you actually listen to it carefully, when a bird sings in the sky, it sounds so different. There is echoes. The sound moves from one place to another. This sound is not like that. The bird is sounding different. And then he realized maybe the bird is not happy inside the cage. So as the girl and everybody started getting ready to cut the cake and came near the table, the boy silently came next to the cage. And then he, with a flick of his hand, as the happy birthday song was being sung, as the cake was getting sliced, opened the cage. First, Cuckoo was stuck there. She couldn't believe. Is there an opening in my cage? She looked at the boy. Will the boy hold me? Will he strangle me? Then the boy looked at her, Cuckoo, and was like, Cuckoo, psh, 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 psh. Cuckoo understood that. She saw him flapping his hands, and she knew that he must be here to save. She saw the small tiny hole in that cage, and she decided to just run. And as she ran through that, the cake cutting stopped, the song stopped. Oh no, my bird, my bird. All the kids started running and they were trying to hold Cuckoo. But guys, can you hold a flying bird? Is it possible?
No.
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 Cuckoo
No.
flew and flew till she found the entrance. And as she found the entrance, she made it through the. Like she was actually running around the room. She didn't know where to go. But then from far, she saw the tree. She's like, that's my home. And I need to go there. And she just made it right outside the door, never looked back. And as she went away, for the boy who freed her, she sang the song. Coo, 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 coo. And she flew away. The boy knew that song was for him, and the boy knew it was Cuckoo's way of saying thank you. So let's free all the birds that we see samely and then listen to their beautiful songs up in the sky. That was the story about Cuckoo the bird. Did you all enjoy the story?
Yes, super.
Yes. It was amazing.
Thank you so much. That was my favorite story about how every bird, every animal loves their freedom. So why not be nice and kind to all animals? So now let's see who's ready. Adya, you wanted to tell a story. Would you like to go next? Is Adya here?
Okay.
Adya, can you say that again? Are you ready to tell the story?
Yeah, 1 minute.
All right. So we're just going to give a minute to Adya. Before that, I want to just ask you just a small tiny question, okay? In the chat window, can you all type out what that one story is that you absolutely love? Like what's your favorite fable, favorite folk tales? Or what is the story, even for the adults in the group, which you loved listening to in the like all your childhood? A story that takes you back to your grandma's lap, takes you back to that favorite teacher's classroom, and which is the story which you have always loved to listen to again and again?
Cinderella.
Cinderella story, is it? Who said that?
Sonam.
Hi Sonam, you love Cinderella?
Yes, in childhood I used to love. Then when
Right.
I entered in motherhood, and I love making my daughter read the story about Rapunzel.
That's very nice. So, do you also like to dress up like Cinderella? Because she was gorgeous. That's what the book says.
I like to make my daughter ready like
Ready
Cinderella.
like Cinderella, is it? That sounds great. Shani says she loves the monkey and the cap seller. That tells me you're a naughty, naughty person, Shani.
Yes, a naughty cute teacher.
That's lovely. Would you like to tell us the story? Does everybody know the monkey and the cap seller story, or would you like to listen to Shani share it? Would you like to share that?
I don't remember.
That's okay. We will get one of them to tell the story. And
Sure.
yeah, Utkrishita and Vihan say they love Panchatantra tales. I love the tales too. Stories of Roald Dahl, Vivan, very fancy. Do you know do you know any particular story that you really love, Vivan?
There's one story called the BFG.
The big fat giant, right?
Yeah, Big Friendly Giant.
Big friendly. Sorry. All right, big friendly giant. Yes. I forget the storyline. What is the storyline all about?
Yes, it's about a girl who's in the orphanage,
Mm-hmm.
and later on there's this giant who comes and takes her
Playing from
away.
1 plus 9R.
But
Yeah, go on,
that
go on.
yeah, but that giant is actually a friendly giant, and that giant is the one who kind of um, like he gives helps the people in making dreams, and then there are other giants who like to eat men.
Okay. Oh, so this will be the only vegetarian giant, is it?
Yes.
And the others are scary and about to eat you. So this
Yes.
friendly giant befriends her and makes her come out of a shell, right?
Yeah.
That's amazing. I love these stories too. And I think these are such amazing impressions when we are kids, especially. And as we grow up as well, these stories matter a lot. Because I'm sure we all have one big friendly giant in our lives who always pushes us out of our comfort zone and makes us do crazy things. Now, we hear Sheetal loves Mowgli, the lovely, lovely child. And can you tell me, Sheetal, what you love about Mowgli?
It's just the fun characters and how each character has its own role and
Right.
how everything comes together at the end and the boy is
And it's
at
so
the end of
unique, right? A child getting left behind with a bunch of animals and them bringing it up. And we also know that there is a real life story also similar to that, right? It's amazing the way the imagination would have been. So I think it's really, really cool, the storyline. You're absolutely spot on with your choice. All right. Now, all right. Adya is looks like Adya is ready, and I'll go through the rest of the stories that you love in the meantime. Adya, are you ready?
Yeah,
Awesome.
I started
Adya,
to find the story.
one second, Adya. Could you just talk a little slowly so that everybody can hear you? And could you say that again, please?
I'm going to start the video while I tell the story.
I'm absolutely okay with that. So you will have 5 minutes, Adya. Your 5 minutes start now. There you go. Please go on with your story as and when you're ready. Yeah.
Everyone, my name is Adya Shanmuki and I would like to tell you a story. So one day, a girl named Sheila asked her mother for a story. The mother replied, "Of course, I'll tell you a story."
Hmm.
So she started the story. Once upon a time, there was a girl. She lived in a village and she used to walk to the water pump every single day to get water. So she always had two pots. One of pot was perfect and round like this, but the other pot had a small leak in it.
It had a small
So
leak in it, is
every
it?
day, once she filled back the pot. Yeah, why is it echoing so much?
All right. I apologize. I just asked, is it the other pot had a like leak in it, is it?
Maybe I'll start. I'll start. Is the echo still there? Hello?
No, no, it's all
Okay,
good,
I'm
Adya. You
starting
can
over.
continue.
So,
But there seems to be a network issue. Can you switch off your video?
um,
There seems to be a network issue. Switch off your video and just tell the story.
so she always had two pots. One of the pots was perfect and round, just like this. But the other pot was dented and had she filled the water in the pot. When she walked back, was always a few drops coming second pot. Okay? So these pots were not know it. So once she took the pots back home and left them for just a second, the pots would begin talking. So the pot with a leak was always jealous of the other pot, the one that was smooth and round. You know why? Because it wished it didn't leak and waste the water. Little didn't know that it did not waste the water. And that same day that they were feeling jealous, the girl was right there. And you know, this girl's name was a little unusual. Her name is Vanessa. And you know, Vanessa was listening to the pots. And she was so shocked they were speaking. Even more shocked that They were jealous. So she told the pots, "Hello, pots. You should realize that each one has their own role to play in the universe. Look, this time I will carry the second pot on the other side, not the way I usually do. And I will carry the first pot, yes, on my right hand. Usually she carried the first pot on her left hand and the second pot on her right hand. But today she switched the things. She said, "Tomorrow I will carry it this way, and you shall see how everybody has their own part to play in the universe." So she carried it that way. As she was walking back, the pot that was smooth and round noticed that there were so many flowers and there was so much grass. It looked just like this. The smooth round pot, well, he said it was so beautiful. And well, as you can imagine, the second pot, the one that was dented and with a little leak, it was dripping water onto a plain mud area. It was just all mud. It was so surprised. And the pot noticed that where he did not drip water, the plants and flowers did not spring up. Even though he wasted water a little bit for the household, he was also doing his part in the universe. And of course, the smooth round one, what do you think he realized? Well, he realized he realized that he held the water and brought enough to that household. Vanessa knew this, and then both the pots said their feelings aloud, one after the other, and they were so surprised. Vanessa said, "Of course, that's right. Every single person is unique, and we are all different in our own ways. Let us be happy forever. You don't need to be jealous of each other. See, both of you are making your own way, and everybody has a role to play." Thank you. And Sheila, listening to her mother's story, was so surprised. She loved the story and loved it so much that she begged her mother to tell it almost every single day.
Oh my God, we absolutely loved the story, Adya. This is definitely one of my favorite stories too. And the way you said that all of us have a part to play and all of us have a role to do and all of us have something on our plate which only we bring in. So that's how we become unique and we become together in everything at the same time. So let's give a big round of applause for Adya. Did you all enjoy that story? Wonderful. Look at that. Everybody sending you heart and love, Adya. Thank you so much for sharing this story. Now, as I saw as Adya was telling the story, I just glanced through our messages where they were talking about all these kind of really nice stories that you love. So, Sheetal, you seem to have mentioned a story which is related to George's marvelous medicine. What story is
ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪ್ಲೈನೇ
this,
ಬರಲ್ಲ
Sheetal?
ಆಮೇಲೆ ನಾನು ಸುಮ್ಮನಿದ್ದೆ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಇವನು ಪುನೀತ್
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Sheetal, can you? Yeah, sorry about that. Yeah, please go on.
George's Marvelous Medicine is again by Roald Dahl,
Okay.
where a little boy has this really crooked, weird grandmother,
Okay.
and he decides to make a concoction of all the weird, strange things that he can find in the house, the shampoo and I wouldn't want to divulge all details because I would love everybody to
read
read
it.
it is fun. I am an adult, but I read it just to have fun.
Yeah, I know such stories are really nice. So he's not a really straight person. He will have all kinds of different things in the medicine, is it?
Oh yes, yes. I would not recommend that concoction to anybody.
Now I want to read about it and
What's
see
the
what
name?
it is. George's Marvelous Medicine. She has mentioned it in the chat. It's under Sheetal Bhanushali.
George's Marvelous Medicine is by Roald Dahl.
So,
Great. Vihan, you wanted to say something?
ma'am, I want to.
You wanted to tell a story? Please go ahead. This is your time. You have 5 minutes, and your 5 minutes begin now. I have a feeling that your voice is gonna break as well. If you want, you can try telling the story. But if I feel that your voice is crackling, I'll let you know. You can go off video and tell the story. Okay? Awesome. So is everybody ready for Vihan's story?
Yes, ma'am.
Awesome, Gyan. Thank you so much. Excellent. So let's, Vihan, your time starts now. Please go on.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Manuja is on honest to and
Yeah. Vihan, you will have to go off video क्योंकि voice break हो रहा है आपका.
and a story gratitude and attitude. Once upon a time in a small town of Asia, there lived a beautiful joint family. There were two sisters in the family. The elder sister was Tina and younger sister was Hema. Hema was sharp-minded and a brilliant student while Roma was a quick-witted and a clever girl. Nobody can win with her. One day in class, Mrs. Smith came to organize a debate competition for everyone. When Roma heard this news, she decided to participate in this competition. Roma had some bad habits too, like she was so stubborn, rigid. She cannot hear the word no because she was a pampered child. When she returned home and asked her mother said no because she said that we have to go tomorrow. You know that your grandmother's 99th birthday is there. She said that we cannot attend the competition. Roma felt jealous of her friend Priya because Priya was getting ready for the competition. Roma went inside the room and started weeping bitterly. Suddenly, Hema entered the room and saw her sisters weeping bitterly. She asked, "What happened to you, Roma? Are you okay?" Roma said, "What can I do? Mother said that I cannot participate in debate competition." Hema said, "It's okay. Don't be jealous of Priya." Roma said, "Okay." Hema said, "Come up and let's start packing the backpack for tomorrow." Roma said, "Okay." Roma and Hema were ready and they were waiting for the train with her parents at railway station. Soon the train reached the station. When they went inside their coach and sat on their seats, they saw a poster that there is a competition poster. On that poster, it's written about a debate competition near their grandmother's house. When they reached Delhi, their grandmother's house, they saw that near their grandmother's house, a hall is decorated with some balloons and some lights. After then, they thought that they should participate in that debate competition because they had not participated in their school's competition. Then the sisters were jealous because Roma's story was better, and Hema's story was not better, but Hema was in confidence and Roma was not in confidence. After the competition, judges decided that Hema is the winner, but Roma was jealous of Hema, so she said, "No, it's my prize. It's not Hema's prize." Then judges said, "No, she do not have. She do not has to give you that prize because it's theirs." So Roma was jealous, and their parents told them, "Dan, don't be in attitude. Use your gratitude when you are in danger. Thank you."
Wow, that was a very, very nice story. Don't be jealous, and you have to be full of gratitude. An amazing message, Vihan. You did a fabulous job. A big thumbs up for that. Can we get reactions from everybody? Did you all enjoy the story, please? Did you all love it? Lovely.
Amazing.
Great. We have one more amazing voiced young man amongst us, and who is going to go next for his story. Are you ready, Vivan?
Yes.
Awesome. So, Vivan is here. Vivan is going to tell us a story too. Vivan, the floor is yours. Your 5 minutes begin now.
Yes. So first thing that the story is actually based on the year 2035. So it's a futuristic story.
Wow,
So-
that's exciting. Okay, we're all ready. Are you all ready to go to 2035?
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
Well, Bhushan is ready, so we also will be ready. So, Vivan, over to you.
Okay. So here we present a retired doctor, Dr. Tarunath Singh Rawat, who retires at the age of 60. Just a few days ago, he commenced his retirement with a party consisting of his friends, and he had no children or a spouse. He worked as a doctor for more than 30 years and now was planning to enjoy retirement. One day he got a call from some police officers. He was informed to reach the police station. He reached the police station and found out that Mr. Digraj Lotial, a retired journalist, passed away. He was a neighbor of Tarun Nath. He always hated Digraj as he found journalists as the government's loyal people, as Tarun always believed in anarchy. Tarun Nath, Masuri's famous doctor, would sometimes appear in the newspapers due to him. He found it irritating and one day went to his house and threw a newspaper on his head. Digraj later shifted to Delhi for more opportunities. Tarun Nath traveled to Delhi for an inquiry. On reaching Delhi, the officers took him to the inquiry room. So you are Tarun Nath Singh Rawat, right? Yes, I have done nothing to him. We'll see about it. First of all, give an introduction about your neighbor of yours. Well, he was a journalist. He was born in Mussoorie to a family of civil servants. He was fond of the subject mass media. One day, the famous television actor Nitish Bharadwaj once appeared in his school as he was invited as a chief guest for the annual day. Digraj, instead of asking for his autograph, asked about his experience and life as an actor. He explained how he had to meet the media and interact with the public and directors, and then that was when he heard mass media for the first time. Later, he went to Jamia Millia Islamia, New Delhi, and received a degree in mass media and journalism. He joined a local newspaper company which supplied newspapers throughout Garhwal. Later, he shifted to Delhi and worked for Doordarshan News. Oh, really? Nitish Bharadwaj was there? Yes, he stayed in a hotel. I'm talking about 1991. We were in 11th grade. Now it is 2035. Now he is also retired. He is not retired yet. Oh yes, sorry. He is not that active nowadays. Tell me, why did you hate him? Well, because he was a journalist, and please don't get offended. I find police, journalists, civil servants, militarians, and people working in other government jobs as government spies. Don't apprehend me for my statement. Well, we won't, as it is a belief. But you hate the government? Yes. There are still so many villages that only scientists can bring AI here, not our government. We have AI, but not the whole Indian population has access. There's unemployment in the country. Is the government sleeping? The government is there. We are. That's what I don't want to listen. Anarchy is the best. So why did you kill him? You dare talk about killing. I am not a criminal. I saved a 5 months old child from pneumonia. After the inquiry took place, he was sent back to Delhi. He was sent back to Missouri, thinking that he was not responsible. One day, a friend of his, yes, a friend of his heard that said that he had heard that he was taken for custody, not for custody. That there was this journalist called Digraj who died. The friend later took a little bit details about what actually happened, and that friend was nothing but a detective. One day, one minute.
That's okay. You got your 1 minute.
No.
Yeah.
There's still more. So then what had happened that that police officers or detectives who kept on coming to his house. So he kept a board that please do not come to my house. I did not kill him. And one day he kept his house on sale and was planning to shift to Chandigarh with his brother. And while he was going, the police officer stopped him for inquiry. But later on, they let him go. And what had happened that he stayed with his brother, and his brother did not ask anything. And every few months or few weeks, the police kept on asking him as they were suspicious. Later on, he was very happy because the murderer was finally found, who was a worker in the Doordarshan news. Thank you.
How was he the murderer? Like, why did he murder him? Do we know the motive?
About the one who actually killed him.
Hmm.
No, there's nothing specified.
There's nothing to say, but this guy got caught into the broil of all of these things just
Yes.
because.
Yes, because he was an enemy.
He was his enemy. Oh my god. Yes, that's right. All right, Vivan. This really got us to think a lot in the entire. Like, we were going all la di da with respect to stories with animals and birds and all of that. And here you go, bring in such an interesting twist to a story. Let's all give a big round of applause for Vivan for such an amazing story. Did you write this, Vivan?
Yes, I wrote it. I my hobby of writing stories.
My, that deserves a thumbs up along with your like big round of
I have
applause.
wrote my
Yeah, sorry, somebody saying something. Who's that?
ma'am me.
हाँ, tell क्या?
Ma'am, I have written my
You wrote Roma's story?
yes, ma'am.
Really? I thought you were reading. Oh my god, really? That's amazing. I really like that. Now it feels a little bit more original and a little bit more excellent. So good job, Vihan. Thank you so much for sharing that. Thank you so much, Vivan. I really loved every story. Now we have our last story, two stories coming up, and we have Rakshita who's ready to roll. Are you ready, Rakshita?
Yeah, I'm ready, and even I'm being waiting.
I'm really sorry that I missed you. Please,
No,
the floor is
no, it's
yours.
okay, it's okay.
Yeah, the floor is yours, and you can go ahead with the story.
वैसे थोड़ा सा अजीब लग रहा है प्रेजेंट करते हुए अपनी स्टोरी बट स्टिल आई विल डू दैट
The whole point of your story jam का था ही यही कि हमको अगर अजीब लग रहा है तो उसको घर पे छोड़ते हैं, हम अपनी कहानियां सबको सुनाते हैं.
या absolutely.
Yes, please go on. The floor is yours.
Yeah, actually this story is being based on real life based story है और I wanted to present in front of everyone so that everyone can hear, everyone can understand. And so here I go. As we all know, कि flower shows language of emotions. Likewise, we humans also carry a lot many sentiments, feel. So before flower blooms, it goes through several processes. Same way the story highlights about the main character, a girl named Miss Rai, and she suffered a lot. Actually, we all go through many of the problems, but here I want to present is she faced relationships, career, financial absence, no friend circle, no college life, tears, no fam jam, insult. And this time, what happened is Kai came into her life, and she saw him at an event of which was of 2 days. Neither he knew who she was, and nor did she knew. After event was over, he approached her She talked to him and told him that don't do all this. She did every possible action to stop him because she already knew the consequences if something happens. So she did not want him to get hurt, but he was determined and did every single try to make her confess. And later, after 1 month, one midnight, she said to him that Mr. Chauhan, his name was Mr. Chauhan, and she said, I love you, Mr. Chauhan. From there, that relationship started. Before it could start, Miss Rai hold the concept of putting things like crystal clear, be it any topic. There's an entry of one more guy named MD, her ex, who is no more her present. Both are friends and still in touch with each other. Both share a strong bond, shares grief, help each other. But Mr. Chauhan had issues with this bond. He told Miss Rai, don't talk with MD. Your ex cannot be your friend. Don't share things with him. She rather asked him, is there anything which affects you? At the same time, his ex was in contact with him. And this scene did not affect Miss Rai because she always said it, be clear, have clarity. So repeatedly she confronted with Mr. Chauhan, don't think different, everything is in front of you. I didn't backstab you. Already told you everything. She rather picks his call in front of him. So she was so deeply rooted, and Mr. Chauhan was her everything. She could not sleep even. Each and every second she wants to be with him, means wanted to share every single gesture with him. She did not wanted to disturb him by asking for his time. She took things very simple and light-minded, and though could complete every relation. So she controlled her emotions, shared with MD. She shared her talks with her aunt. Now here another character comes a lady named Hema, her aunt Moxie, and Mr. Chauhan's business partner also. So one day what happened is recently he came and spoke every possible rubbish in front of her. After discussion, she unconsciously fall down, and when retrieve again, he said, "मैं रह लूंगा, तुम्हें रोते नहीं देख सकता." So then after some days, he messaged her saying, "Whatever I've done for you, I cannot tell you the reason for your place will always be yours. I still miss moments." So she replied, "Wanna know the reason? That's it." And few days after, he unfollowed her, and again the reason is not known yet. He left and she cried. People here can identify the reason. Can you guys help? Means maybe this story could be mine also, or I say this is mine only. Recently, real time based actual story hai. So whomsoever want to discuss it with me, they can DM me. What deep सा था.
It was very, very deep. Of course. And it talks about human
And
emotion.
बहुत टॉक्सिक सा था जो उसको बहुत ट्रोमैटिक छोड़ के चला गया. नाउ अभी वो उसका कुछ भी नहीं है, वो हील कर रही है, खुद ही कर रही है जो
But
भी
I
हैंडल
think
कर
it
रही
is.
है.
See, I think this is one very nice story. First of all, was that done, Rakshita?
हाँ या मैम.
Awesome. But first of all, I
एक्चुअली
would like to
बहुत
give you.
शॉर्टेंड किया मैंने बिकॉज इट इज ऑफ 3 to 5 minutes, तो वही है कि
Yes, but first of all, I really personally like this story. See, I think what we forget in our everyday life and what we keep doing is we forget to take care of ourselves. We feel bad about small things. We feel like we had Vivan's story about jealousy. We had Vivan's story about enmity. These are very
मीन्स क्या होता है ना
basic.
कि बहुत सिंपल हम लोग रखने की कोशिश करते हैं, बट हम ये सोचते हैं कि अरे हमारे जैसे बहुत बहुत सारे लोग नहीं हैं.
हम
There are
सिंपल
people
रखते
out
हैं बस आप
there
सिंपल नहीं रखते
because yeah, absolutely.
but it is human emotion, and of course a story about human emotions always touches our heart. Did everybody enjoy this complex yet very very relatable love story for the
मीन्स
ones
द
I
रीजन
think?
इज नॉट बिन योर येट. अब ये मेरी है, मेरी ही है, या किसी और की भी हो सकती है. Means, वही है.
Like we will guess that like we'll keep thinking about that कि exactly ये किसकी story होगी, but story थी
No, this
बहुत
is mine
amazing.
only.
Yes. So let's give reactions for the story, guys. I really, really loved it. A good thumbs up. Human
Thank
emotions
you,
are
thank
very, very
you.
important, and I know the story speaks of that. Thank you so much for sharing that, Rakshita. We have our Gyan and Ahana giving us our thumbs ups. Thank you so much. Now, the last story for the day before we move on to a small, quick game that we came up with. So, Gyan, are you ready?
Yes, ma'am.
Awesome. Gyan has a story for all of us. Gyan, your 5 minutes start now. So the floor is yours. Let's hear your story and then let's play our game.
Hello everybody, today I'm gonna tell a story from the Panchatantra tales, The King and the Parrot. Once a tribal king went to a jungle to hunt for birds. While hunting, he caught two parrots in his net. He was happy to catch the parrots as he could teach them to talk and then let his children play with the talking parrots. But while the tribal king was returning home with his parrots, one of the parrots escaped from the net and flew away. The tribal king chased the parrot, but the parrot disappeared in the sky. The tribal king brought the other parrot home and taught it to speak like him. Soon the parrot learned to talk like a tribal man. The other parrot, which had managed to escape, was caught by a sage. The sage taught the parrot to recite holy hymns. The sage lived at one end of the jungle while the tribal king lived at the other. One day, a king of a nearby kingdom came in the jungle riding a horse. When he approached the tribal king's house, the parrot shouted from inside the cage, hanging outside the house, "Here comes someone! Catch this fellow and beat him thoroughly." The king, hearing the parrot speak in such a filthy manner, left that place and reached the other end of the jungle, where the sage lived. The sage's parrot was also kept in a cage which was hanging outside the sage's cottage. As soon as the parrot saw the king approaching the cottage, it said, "Welcome, please come in and have a seat. What can I do for you? Have a glass of water, eat some sweets." After having welcomed him properly with all that which the parrot called his master, "Guruji, here comes a guest on his horseback. Take him inside and offer him a seat. Serve him food." The king was highly impressed with this intelligent talking parrot. He was quick to understand that good environment and training always yield a better result. The tribal king's parrot spoke rudely while the sages greeted him in a polite tone. Moral of the story is a man is known by the company he keeps. Thank you.
Gyan, that was such a spot on story. Lovely. Panchatantra never disappoints. And your moral that a man is known for the company he speaks. Guess what it says? Because Gyan is one of my friends and he's the company I keep, so I am the cool person. So let's give a cool thumbs up and big round of applause for Gyan for sharing such a lovely story. Well told, Gyan. Good job. Are you all enjoying the session, guys?
Yes.
Okay, let me just be honest. When I started this entire session, I thought I'm not sure how many people really love stories enough to join us on a Wednesday and actually come and attend this event. But looks like we have a lot of people who really, really like stories. So, before we wrap up today's session, I just thought I'll do a small fun activity. Are you guys up for it?
Yes.
Okay, that's great. So, this activity, we have only 2 stories left, and the activity is all about I'm going to tell you a story, okay? But I'm not going to end it. The end will be decided by you. And you guys can type out what is the ending in my chat, and let's see who gets the best ending of this story. So, are you guys ready?
Yes.
Okay. So, okay. So this is a story about a boy and a girl. Okay, they are two. There is a brother and sister, Tina and Tom. Both Tina and Tom were very, very. They were not very poor, but they were actually kind of living just bare minimum. You know, they had a very small house with a big leak in the house and everything. And they also, their mother used to be like a daily wager, wherein she used to stitch clothes every single day. She used to go around asking people if something needs to be just hemmed, just something basic, and then she used to make money. The days that they really would enjoy is when there was a nearby Gurudwara who would have a langar where they would actually have full, tummy full food, and that is the day, the Sundays that they used to really look forward to. But what about Tina and Tom that you guys that I didn't tell you guys is that Tina and Tom were brilliant and they were very smart and intelligent. So one day government ran a big scheme of giving a scholarship in this one big fancy international school, and they decided that this school, the students who are below poverty line will be able to attend this school because government will fund it. And of course, Tina and Tom, being the smart cuckoos that they are, they made it to the school. Now, let me tell you, repeat it. This school is an international school. And this school had really fancy facilities. They had a swimming pool, they had a football field. The football field was so big that it was like, forget football, the classroom was as big as their house. So it was still twice as big as their house, in fact. It was a wonderland for both Tina and Tom. But we cannot ignore the fact that they used to feel a little left out in that entire place. One day, like a year, 2 years, 3 years, they've been going to the school and they're very quiet, they're just by themselves. And sometimes kids can be mean, right? So there were people who were actually making fun of them and everything. But they used to be like, we'll bend our head, we'll do our work, and we'll go. Once we start earning, we'll make money. So one day, there was a competition announced in the school. And this competition was for the best dressed student, best dressed boy, best dressed girl. Now, everyone, the minute they heard the news, they all started talking, giggling. They were like, oh, I'm gonna go buy a Gucci, I'm gonna buy a Prada, oh, Balenciaga, A, B, C. They were all talking brands and they're like, I'm gonna wear an A-line, I'm gonna wear this, I'm gonna wear that. Tina and Tom looked at each other. What would they wear? Even the school uniform was given by the school only. They had torn clothes otherwise, or something which was very old. And they were sad. Even though they knew they were not going to get this, they wanted to try. I'm going to pause here. And I want to tell you that I want to see what you think that these kids do and whether they win the competition or not. So this is the storyline. Did everybody catch the drift of the story?
Yes.
Yes? Okay, awesome. So you have a minute. Please type out your messages and tell me what do you think is your idea about the story continuation. What could possibly happen? Let me tell you, this is a story that I had read in my school in one small book called Reader's Digest, and I loved it. And I have this story in my heart from forever. I'll tell you the ending of the actual story, but I'm very interested to know what you guys think the story would continue. Will Tina and Tom have participate in the competition? Will they win? How will they win? All right. You have 1 minute.
Mama, I would like to ask a question.
Yeah, Adya, go on.
Mom, what did their mother or father do?
I'm sorry, you switched off, you muted yourself before finishing the question.
Mom, what did their parents do?
His mom is a tailor. She stitches clothes.
Okay.
Okay. Gyan says that they will study really well and then they will only start. Then what, Gyan? They'll get. Okay. I got one response from Mahana.
Maybe they will participate very well and they will meet a friend who can help them.
So they will go ask a friend for help and they will win the competition?
Maybe.
Maybe, okay. This is a maybe competition only. Go on. Okay, Gyan has given an answer. Ahana has. I would like to hear what Rakshita, Sheetal, Sheni they think. Shlok, Vivan, Disha, please tell me. If you're finding it hard to type, would you like to talk about it? You can just raise your hand and you can tell the group what story ending did you think. Okay, we have Vivan who has raised his hand. Vihan, go on. What happens?
Ma'am, I am Krishna.
Yes, Utkrishta. Tell me.
Ma'am, after they ashamed and disappointed, when they were returning from the school, they noticed woman who was asking for some food and he was saying something very much. So they
One
shared
second. One second. Your voice is getting a little cut. Can you go back to where Vihan was sitting and tell the story from there?
Ma'am, I am
You're there only. It's getting a little cut. Can you start again? Let me just hear you out.
yes, ma'am. Ma'am, when they were from the school, that moment only,
Hmm.
they saw a woman who was asking for some food and was very hungry.
Okay.
They shared food with them, and
Okay.
because of the nature, he was very much blessed from them. He said that I am magical, but you should be careful because you use it only
You should use it only
once.
once.
So, ma'am, they used it for the they used it at the place become lesser, and in the whole the things become more clear and become good for the low fertility, so that because it has the right food.
So they ask for the different clothes. The cloth comes out really beautiful with diamonds and all of that. Is it?
No, ma'am, that because everyone has the right education, so education should be at the less cost for all.
I'm so sorry, darling. I'm only missing the punchline. Can you type just that? What do they ask for? Can you type it out in the chat? I would like to know.
Okay, ma'am.
Yeah, darling. Thank you. Yeah, Adya, what do you think is the story ending? Can you please tell it in 1 minute?
Speak now.
Yeah, Adya, you can speak.
So, Tina and Tom had seen their mother since a lot of time,
Hmm.
and they knew how to stitch so many different types of stitches.
Hmm.
And then, you know what they did?
What?
They tried to stitch their own clothes. They took their torn old clothes, cut them up, and created them into two beautiful outfits.
Very good.
And then
And
they looked so nice. So Tina braided her hair in a fancy way, and they both went there.
Hmm.
They went to the competition, and they did win. But they found out that they had won a very special prize. And can you guess what the prize was? It was a prize for the best at stitching.
Very nice. So
And
basically,
you know why they got that prize? Because they had told the judges that they knew how to stitch and they had made the clothes themselves. The judges were very happy and gave them a trophy and some new stitching material so they could make themselves. So they could make clothes for them.
Okay, so basically, Adya, you're telling me that these guys went and they took their own clothes, they came up with their own design, and because they came up with such a fab fashion statement, the school really recognized them, and then they gave them the prize and also gave them more and more materials to make new clothes. Is that right?
No, ma'am, they didn't win the actual first prize.
Okay, they didn't win it, but the school
They
decided
won
to
the
give them.
special prize.
They won the special prize. Okay, I
And the
really like this ending. What about Vivan? Let's hear one more before we close the session. Yeah, Vivan.
Yes. So here what they do, they ask their mother
Hmm?
whether they had some money or not.
Hmm?
The mother checked her pocket and saw that she had some money.
Huh.
They went to the shop and bought Western formal clothes.
Hmm?
They dressed in a classy way and trimmed their hair.
Hmm?
A few days later was the competition. While other people were wearing brands, the judge saw Tina and Tom wearing simple formal clothes. They were dressed simple and were well spoken. They received the award and made their mother proud.
Very nice. So they made do with what they had and they came simple while
Yes.
everybody else was fancy. Their simplicity won them their prize, right?
Yes, exactly.
That's a nice ending too. Yeah, Hannah, you wanted to tell?
Ma'am, the mother will stitch their clothes.
The mother will stitch their clothes, is it? So mother hears. So it's so amazing. Now let me just tell you the ending of this story. Mainly what happens is these kids will be really sad. Okay, they'll be like, "Arey yaar, what do I do? I want to participate." So every day from their house to the school, they walk and go. So one day they saw that there was another tailor on their way. Okay, now this guy is a designer tailor. Now designer tailors, if you see, they cut a lot of clothes and there's a lot of small, tiny pieces of clothing which just go into garbage. Every day he saw. So Tom suddenly realized that he had an amazing idea. So like Adya and Ahana and Vivan, everybody's like Utkrishita's story, everybody, a little bit of everybody. This guy looks at the kids and the kids came go to the window and they're like, sir, we have a question to ask. Are you gonna throw that in garbage? He looked at the clothes and he's like, yeah, these are old torn drags, I don't use it for stitching, these are after stitching the cloth, whatever is left over. They picked that big bag and they ran to their mother. They first asked the mother, Mama, do you have any money so that we can buy clothes? Mama obviously says, no, we don't have, we don't have food only, how will we buy new clothes? Then they tell her, see, we have got these torn pieces. Do you think we can make something? She sees there are million small pieces. She's like, how will I stitch this overnight? Tomorrow is the competition. They're like, sorry, Mama, we just got this idea today. It's okay. Next year we will do this. And they feel sad and they go to sleep. But mummy is being mummy. They know they can't let their child just sleep so disappointed. She sat up the whole day and she made a beautiful coat for Tom and a lovely frock for Tina. And the next day, they wore those brand new clothes and went to school. See, like Vihan said, everybody was in branding, okay? Everybody had some fancy clothes. But point was, since they had gone to the same brands and bought the clothes, everybody looked the same. Except Tom and Tina. They looked really different and they looked very special. The judges saw and they are like, dude, this is really different. This is an amazing fashion statement. And they won the competition. And as a prize, they got 10,000 rupees, which was a small amount for the rest of them, but a large amount for Tom and Tina. They ran to their house, they thanked their mother, and they promised her that the next time they want to win something, they will always be smart like this only. And that ends the story and our World Storytelling Day. Guys, I don't know about you, but I had the most amazing an hour and a half. Thank you so much for spending this time with me. I hope you all enjoyed the story. I hope you all enjoyed the evening. Did it feel nice to spend time with me this evening, guys?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Thank
was
you
amazing.
so much. Thanks,
Already
Akshita.
ending was actually close to the real ending.
Sorry, Adya.
Ma'am, but the ending was really different from something everybody said.
Yeah, this is a story written by some very famous author, but it's a very nice story, isn't it? About how hope and everything is there. Yeah. Who's that?
I have sent my story to the subgroup.
You sent your story in the group?
Ma'am,
Yeah.
on of the ending,
Okay, that's the voice note you have sent, is it?
ma'am, of ending of the
Ending of the story that the education should be at low cost and for all the children in the world. Is that it?
yes, ma'am.
That's lovely. It is a very nice point. I keep saying the same thing. Education should not be about money. But unfortunately, that's not how the world is. And unfortunately, we are out of time. So it's time to say good night and hit our beds. And I sincerely hope you are sleeping tonight with a lot of dreams about happy dreamlands, which these stories have created in your mind. Thank you so much for being a part of this World Storytelling Day. I love you all, and we'll have more sessions like this. Please do join for the same. Thank you so much. Have a great day.
Ma'am, is today the actual World Story Day?
Yes, it is. March 20th is celebrated as the International Storytelling Day. All right.
Okay, happy International Story to everyone.
Thank you, Adya. Thanks, Ahana. Thanks, Abhay. Thanks, Disha. Thanks, Gyan. Thanks, Guru Darshan. Thanks, Nagbhushan. Thanks, Supi. Thanks, Rakshita, Shloka, and Vihan and Vivan for sticking till the end. We love you all. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Bye. Good night. Bye. Shlok, Rakshita, thank you so much. Disha, thanks a lot.
Bye, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye. Bye. Thank
See
you.
you soon.
See you. Bye.
Bye, ma'am.
Bye, Gyan. Thank you so much.
Oh.
This is Guru Guru.
Guru.
Hey Guru, why did you not speak in the story row? ಬರ್ಬೇಕು ತಾನೆ ವಿಡಿಯೋಗೆ ನಂಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಾಗ್ತಾ ಇತ್ತು ನೀನು ಬಂದಿದ್ಯಾ ಅಂತ ನಾನು ನೋಡೇ ಇಲ್ಲ. Did you enjoy the thing? Can we have ಬೆಳಕು please?
Wait, let's turn off.
Everyone was
For
enjoying
YouTube users, we are finally signing off. Thank